Hey there, folks. Today we're diving into the fascinating history of two automotive giants that have shaped not just the car industry, but the very fabric of American culture. When you think about America, you think about cars, right? The roar of the engine, the open road, the freedom to go anywhere. It's all part of the American dream. And when you think about cars, you think about Ford and General Motors. These names are synonymous with innovation, quality, and the spirit of competition. These two giants didn't just build cars, they built a nation. They transformed the way we live, work, and travel. Henry Ford's Model T revolutionized transportation. It wasn't just a car, it was a symbol of progress and innovation. It was affordable and reliable, putting America on wheels. Suddenly, the average American could own a car, and that changed everything. Then came General Motors, with its stylish Chevys and powerful Buicks. They brought a new level of sophistication and performance to the market. They gave Ford a run for their money, and that competition made both companies better. It was a rivalry that spurred innovation and excellence. They pushed each other to innovate, to create better cars, and to make them accessible to everyone. This relentless drive for improvement benefited consumers and the industry as a whole. These companies weren't just about cars, they were about American dreams. Owning a car meant freedom, opportunity, and a chance to explore this great country. Imagine the excitement of setting off on a road trip, the wind in your hair, the open road ahead. It was a new kind of adventure made possible by Ford and GM. Ford and GM made that dream a reality for millions. They didn't just build cars, they built a way of life. They provided good-paying jobs, boosted the economy, and helped shape the American landscape. Their factories became the heartbeat of countless communities. But the road hasn't always been smooth. There have been challenges, setbacks, and tough times. The auto industry has seen its share of bumps and detours. Economic recessions, oil crises, and changing consumer preferences have all taken their toll. From economic recessions to global competition, Ford and GM have had to adapt to survive, and adapt they did. They embraced new technologies, streamlined their operations, and found new ways to connect with consumers. These companies are testaments to American resilience, always finding a way to reinvent themselves and stay ahead of the curve. They continue to innovate, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the automotive world. Today, Ford and GM are leading the charge into the future with electric and autonomous vehicles. They're not just keeping up with the times, they're setting the pace for the entire industry. The legacy of Ford and General Motors is more than just a history lesson, it's a living, breathing story that continues to evolve. Car enthusiasts and historians alike celebrate their contributions to the automotive world. So the next time you see a Ford or GM car on the road, remember the incredible journey these companies have been on. From humble beginnings to industry leaders, they've truly driven America forward. Thanks for joining us on this ride through history. Until next time, keep your engines running and your wheels turning. See you on the road. Ford and GM didn't just build cars, they built communities. These automotive giants were more than just manufacturers, they were the architects of a new American dream. Their factories became the heartbeat of countless towns, pumping life into local economies and shaping the social fabric of the nation. Factories popped up all over the country, providing jobs and boosting local economies. These were not just any jobs, they were stable, well-paying positions that offered a sense of security and pride. The assembly lines were bustling with activity, and the hum of machinery became a familiar soundtrack to daily life. These companies were like magnets, attracting workers and their families. People moved from rural areas and other states, drawn by the promise of steady employment and a better future. Entire neighborhoods sprang up almost overnight, filled with the sounds of children playing and families settling into their new homes. Towns grew around these factories, creating a strong middle class. The presence of Ford and GM transformed these areas into thriving communities with schools, hospitals, and shopping centers. The middle class flourished, and the American dream seemed within reach for many. A job at Ford or GM wasn't just a job, it was a ticket to a better life. Workers could afford to buy homes, send their kids to college, and enjoy a level of financial stability that was previously out of reach. The sight of a new car in the driveway became a symbol of success and hard work. These companies also understood the importance of giving back. They supported local charities, invested in education, and funded scholarships for deserving students. Their contributions went beyond the factory gates, touching the lives of many in profound ways, and helped build parks and recreation centers. These spaces became the heart of the community, where families gathered for picnics, children played, and neighbors connected. The company's investments in these areas fostered a sense of belonging and community spirit. They were woven into the fabric of American life, playing a vital role in the social and economic well-being of countless communities. Their influence extended beyond the assembly line, shaping the very identity of the towns they touched. Community events, parades, and local festivals often bore the mark of Ford and GM sponsorship, further cementing their role as pillars of society. But let's be real, the auto industry has had its ups and downs. Economic downturns, shifts in global markets, and technological advancements have all tested the resilience of these giants. Factory closures and layoffs were harsh realities that affected many, casting a shadow over the once thriving communities. Recessions, fuel crises, and changing consumer tastes have all posed challenges. The oil embargoes of the 1970s, for instance, led to long lines at gas stations and forced a re-evaluation of fuel efficiency. Consumer preferences shifted and the industry had to adapt to new demands and environmental concerns. But through it all, Ford and GM have shown their grit, their determination to adapt and overcome. They embraced innovation, investing in new technologies and sustainable practices. Longtime employees speak of a deep-rooted resilience and a commitment to excellence that has allowed these companies to weather the storms and emerge stronger. Today, they continue to be leaders in the automotive industry, driving forward with a legacy of perseverance and progress. Now, the auto industry is changing faster than ever. Electric vehicles are becoming more popular, and self-driving cars are no longer science fiction. Ford and GM are stepping up to the plate. They're investing billions in new technologies, developing electric cars with impressive range and performance, and exploring the potential of autonomous driving. These companies are embracing the future, knowing that innovation is key to their survival. They're not afraid to challenge the status quo to push the boundaries of what's possible. They're showing the world that American ingenuity is alive and well, and that Ford and GM are ready to lead the charge into the next generation of transportation. But it's not just about technology, it's about competition. The auto industry is undergoing a seismic shift, driven by innovation and the relentless pursuit of excellence. The global auto industry is more crowded than ever, with new players, especially from China, entering the market. These new entrants are not just participating, they're making waves and challenging the status quo. Chinese automakers are producing high-quality cars at competitive prices, putting pressure on established brands. Their vehicles are not only affordable but also packed with advanced features that appeal to a broad range of consumers. They're investing heavily in research and development, catching up quickly in areas like electric vehicles and autonomous driving. This investment is paying off, as they are now seen as serious contenders in the global market. This competition is fierce, but it's also good for consumers. With more options available, buyers can find cars that better meet their needs and preferences. It forces everyone to up their game, to innovate faster, and to offer better products at lower prices. The race to develop the next big thing in automotive technology is on, and no one wants to be left behind. Ford and GM know they can't rest on their laurels. These industry giants are aware that the landscape is changing rapidly, and they must adapt to stay relevant. They have to be nimble, adaptable, and willing to embrace new ideas to stay ahead in this global race. The future of the auto industry is being shaped by those who dare to innovate and push the boundaries of what's possible. As the competition heats up, the ultimate winners will be the consumers, who will benefit from better, more advanced, and more affordable vehicles.